let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, I got money.
So,
Side and lunch. PDC?
yeah. Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
I'm not allowed to.
All right, I want to welcome everybody. I want to invite everybody to come worship with us. So, if you're ready to worship, please come to the front.
Welcome back.
Tell somebody good morning.
Why would you wear glasses? I'm not allowed to wear contacts for a week. It's like, I know, but why would you wear like kids glasses? There, your hand. Huh?
Put your hands together.
Give me some of that.
Woo!
Give me some of that. Yeah, bro. You should do that.
Come up to the front. We invite you to worship with us.
Yeah.
Here we go. In open eyes, speak your name. Lift our eyes to your hearts, to your being. There we'll walk. There you'll be with fire in our eyes. Lies alive, it's all on the day. It's blazing out, streets will go forever bright. The glory's breaking through the night. You will never fade away. Your love is here to stay by my side in my life, shining through me every day. You will never fade away. Your love is here to stay by my side in my life, shining through me every day. Wait, you wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. You wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. You wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. You wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. This is fire in eyes. Got the fire in eyes. Alive, alive. Your love's untamed. It's blazing out. Streets will go forever bright. His glory's breaking through the night. That you will never fade away. Your love is here to stay by my side in my life, shining through me every day. You will never fade away. Your love is here to stay by my side in my life, shining through me every day. Yeah. Wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. You wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. You wait within me, wait within me. You're in my heart forever. You wait within me, You're in my heart forever. Wake up this morning. Forever, 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 forever. In your love, forever, forever, forever. In your love, forever, forever, forever. In your love, forever, forever, forever. You'll never fade away. Your love is here to stay by my side in my life, shining through me every day. You will never fade away. Your love is here to stay by my side in my life, shining through me every day. Woo! Let's ask God to wake up in our hearts. You wake within me, wake within me. You're in my heart forever. You wake within me, wake within me. You're in my heart forever. You wake within me, wake within me. You're in my heart forever. You wake within me, wake within me. You're in my heart forever. Yeah. Awesome, you got it. Perfect. When we pray this morning, we pray every morning because we want to bless this worship and we want to open up to God our hearts so that we can understand what the message is about. So when we said that, we said we're going to have an awesome service. Who thinks we're going to have an awesome service here? Yeah. So this song is about our God being awesome. My God is awesome. He can move the mountains, keep me in the valley, hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. Heals me when I'm broken, strength where I am weak, and forever He will reign. My God is awesome. Awesome, awesome, oh my God is awesome, 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 Savior of the world. God is awesome, Savior of the whole world. Greater of salvation, by His stripes I am healed. My God is awesome. Today I am forgiven. His grace is why I'm living. Praise His holy name. My God is awesome. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, my God is awesome, 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 sing awesome, awesome, my God is awesome, yeah, He's awesome, sing that He's awesome, yeah. Awesome. Yes. Awesome. My God is awesome. Yeah. Awesome. mighty. He's mighty. He's mighty. He's mighty. He's awesome. Repeat after me. He's holy. Awesome. Yeah, he's holy. He's holy. He's holy. He's holy. He's awesome. Awesome. My deliverer. 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 He's awesome. Oh, he's great. 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 He's awesome. Sing, he's awesome. He's awesome. My God is awesome. 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 He's awesome. My God is awesome. He is awesome. My God is awesome. Awesome. Yes, He's awesome. My God is awesome. He's awesome. He is awesome. My God is awesome. He can move the mountains. My God is awesome. He can move the mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. Strength me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weakened. Forever He will reign. God is awesome. Move the mountains. God is awesome. He can move the mountains. Keep me in the valleys. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome. Heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weakened. Forever He will reign. My God is awesome. Awesome. Give that a hand. It's great. Dear God, just thank you so much for being awesome. All the things you've done to each of us to help us work, to help us to where we are now. Amen. All right, give somebody a high five. Tell them welcome to this innovative concepts.
Not a baby. Oh, Snapchat, dude. Okay, go sit with your group.
All right, how about another hand for the worship team? Good morning, IC family. It's wonderful to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out. You guys could be doing anything else on a Sunday, but you guys decided to come. Thank you guys so much. Before we bring up Pastor David, welcome back. So before we bring up Pastor David, I would like to excuse Children's Church. That's the kids and the toddlers, I think. So I'll take a quick prayer before I excuse you guys. Father God, thank you so much for bringing these great youth, Lord, the next generation of leaders in this family that's going to carry the IC vision, Father God. Thank you so much. I pray for an amazing and anointed time in the Children's Church and inside of the toddler church, Father God. Thank you so much for the teachers, Lord. I pray for an abundance of patience, Father God, an abundance of energy, Father God, and I just pray for softened hearts, Lord. All right, see you, youth. Have fun.
See ya.
And I'd like to bring up Pastor Davin.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Good? You okay? How's your week so far? How's your year so far? What are we like, September, October? We're coming into the fourth quarter, right? Most important quarter. Finished well, pretty strong, right? Well, it's good to be back. We were out actually 3 weeks. I'm happy to be back home. I can wear my lanyard. I can cry. I was in Seattle country, so I can't wear the Seahawk country, so I can't really wear my lanyard because it'd be very offensive. Or we'd probably get attacked or mobbed or something. So for the safety of our family, I just want to keep it on the DL. But it's good to be back. September, a lot of men are happy. Most men. Football season's back.
Oh,
I was going to shout out your team. Who's your team?
Broncos!
49ers, whatever that is. Cowboys, whatever that is. Your quarterback is already hurt. Huh? Okay, that's good. It's good to have you back up. Well, what else teams? Raiders, yes, the Super Bowl champs. Okay, what else? Seahawks. Okay, we got a Seahawk here. What else teams do we have? Steelers. Okay, I don't know what that is, but anyway. All right, so football season's back. I think college started. I don't follow college. A lot of you guys follow college. How many of you watched the UH game? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's right. And what did they say? We're in the building season, right? Yeah. All right, well, it's good to be back. Thank you to Christina who spoke and Prosper who spoke. Really well in the messages, so thank you. That's what the church is all about. Everybody participates, everybody has something to offer. It's not just ourselves, but we're all significant, right? We all have a main important part of the body, right? No part is unimportant. Just because you see me up here, that doesn't mean I'm more important. It's just my calling. It's just what I do, right? Okay, so we are continuing in the book of Thessalonians. So why don't you turn there? Why don't you help look around and see if they have the U version. Try to go there right now. Teach them how to, if they don't have the app, they can download the app later. Go to events, and you're going to see innovative concepts. You click on that, and there is your message there. So the good part about it is that you can save it, you can take notes, you can even share it with your friends. You know, hey, just if they're going through something, you don't have to really preach to them. Just be normal, relate to them, but you can share something here. This is what I learned this week, and you can share a little bit about what happened and what you learned. We're going to continue to talk about the church. We're talking about the church, why the church exists. This morning we're going to talk about gratitude for the church. Now, I've been trying to give you a history of the church, on how the church progressed from the first century to now we're in what, 21st century, and how the progression of the church and how we continue to grow. And a lot of times it looked like the church was going to close. And there was so many persecution going back then. A lot of people were dying. They gave up their lives for the church, and this is why we have the church today. One of the reasons why we exist as a church is because church gives you hope. Say hope. Hope. All right, everybody. Why don't we say with a little bit enthusiasm? Hope. Hope. Okay, I know we're a little bit down this morning. People are having babies. People are getting sick, but that's okay. So say hope. Hope. Be excited. You're part of the church. You're chosen. God has called you. And maybe you're in a place in your life right now, things are going well. Things are okay, and you're not going through too many challenges and struggles. But when you do, you have to be able to refer or fall back on something beyond yourself. You guys understand that? You can't you have to be honest with yourself, true that as humans, we're limited, right?
Yeah.
We can do some things, we can make money, we can do our jobs, but there are times when we come into a season or we come into a situation that's beyond us. What have you ever had that feeling of being overwhelmed, where there's nothing that you could do, like you couldn't have control, and so you had to either talk to someone else or refer to something else. And a lot of times people, when they talk about God, it's more like a religious person. So even if they're in desperate times or dire times, yes, some people will say a prayer. They say a prayer, or they have a remembrance of when they used to go to church. But even that, sometimes, because of the religious perspective, sometimes some people feel like they're not good enough, or some people feel like I strayed so far away. Why would God talk to me? Whatever reason that we come up with, we tend not to go to God, because we see Him as a religious person. Going to church is a religious place or activity, when in reality, when you look at the history of the church, it's so far from that. The church exists for people to come together, for people to encourage each other, to build each other up, not to oppress, not to condemn, not to bring guilt. And this is why a lot of people stay away from church, because of the guilt, the condemnation. I don't feel good enough. I haven't gone to church for a while. Does God really care about me? Does God know? And the answer is yes. Regardless of where you're at today, God says God's love is unfading. It's unconditional. It's society that puts on these so-called standards and measurements of performance and how we do and how we look, rather than how we should be. You understand? So, if you've been to church before, it's because you were chosen. Not anybody can just come into the church. Not anybody can just be a Christian. You're chosen. God chooses you. He gives you the opportunity. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that makes you unique. Besides your potential and the calling and the future that you have, we talk about destiny, we talk about purpose, potential. Everybody ends up someplace. You guys understand that? You all going to end up someplace. I hope it's a good place. I hope it's a place that you were made for. So you have to answer these questions as you get older. Why do you exist? Why are you here on earth? Why did God make you? What is the special, specific reason, purpose that God made you? He doesn't make random. The Bible says He prepares in advance for you to do good works. He also says that He knits you in your mother's womb. So He took a lot of time preparing you, making you. You are a very unique person. Look to your neighbor or your look to you and say, you are very unique. Look at them in their eyes. Don't just say it, mean it. Yeah. Okay? You are unique. Once you leave that uniqueness to be like everyone else, because a lot of people want to be popular and follow the fad, you're no longer unique. I had this saying the other night. I'm a little older. I grew up in the disco, the 80s. So I kind of like those movies. I kind of like when they resurrect the disco music in the 80s or the 70s or whatever it is. I have a playlist of just 70s. Just good times. And so I was reading about the church, and again, for me, my personal opinion, the church is straight. It strayed away from its original purpose and intention. So I was praying about that, and the phrase that I got was, I tried disco, so I went back to dancing. What? So I kind of thought about it. I tried disco, so I went back to dancing. In other words, the church cannot be a fad. There's a lot of fads today, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you shout out some fads today?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. What else? You can turn me up a little bit. What else? What else fads? We got seasons. We got football season now.
Oh.
So a lot of guys will be wearing someone else's jersey. What else? What else fads do we have? Huh? Wearing a mullet. Okay. There's a lot of fads today. There's a lot of, I was reading, people want quick fixes to be successful. But there's no quick fixes. You have to pay the price of the mundane and the small successes and the everyday being faithful and getting up and treating people right and treating people with respect. It's laborious. Now, you young people, it's good because you have a lot of energy. Pursuing your dreams and success is right, because you have to make conscious choices every day to treat people right, to get up, to be respectful, regardless of how you feel. I forgot how the mainland is. It's very independent. It's very, how would you say, doggy dog. It's very like, people cut you off, people walk in front of you, people cut in, and they don't really care. It's just like everybody's out for themselves. So I had to make an adjustment coming from Hawaii because we have the Holy Spirit where you go first. But, you know, if you tell a person to go first, or they look at you like you're strange, or you know, our older dogs say, "Why did you do that? Don't do that." Like what? You know, I just like, you know, it's a very different lifestyle in the mainland. The church today. It's all about fads. We got a lot of young bucks coming up. You know, I'm one of the older guys, but we got the young bucks coming up. The latest rock stars who want to write a book, speaking conferences, and just a whole different thing about churches, which we're losing the value principle of churches. So one of the things that we need to do is come back to the Word, come back to its original intention and purpose of church. It was never meant for religious purposes. God was never meant to be a religious person, to sit in heaven, watch people like Sheriff or JPO and pound people when they do things wrong. That's TV. That's man's version of God. God is a very gracious, loving, compassionate person. He actually follows you. He actually will lift you when you need. Even if you're messing up, even if you don't have the best lifestyle. So once you begin to understand the essence and the character of God, I'm hoping that you can create and cultivate your own relationship with Him and really experience the blessings and the fruit and the benefits of God. But there are things that you're going to have to go through. One of them is suffering. Say suffering.
Suffering.
Hard times.
Hard times.
What do you do when the doors are closed and everything you do is not working? What do? Do you just check out? Do you go back to drugs? Do you go back to drinking? Do you hurt people? Do you threaten people? I don't know. What do you do when things are not working and you're frustrated?
Cry.
You know, I can see in me sometimes bubbling up. I can get very, very nasty in my thoughts, and I can get very, very aloof, and I get very, very hard. All of a sudden, it's all about me, and I gotta watch that. So in my years, I've learned how to sense that when it's small. And I think it's about like, whoa, okay, I gotta take a chill pill, where I gotta spend some time alone and kind of decompress and chill out, because our world, our society today is moving at such a faster pace. He talks about giving space. When things are not working out, what do? Well, first you believe, and then you give space. In other words, you give space for yourself. Today, what do? We fill every space with activity, right? Yeah. How many do that? Because you don't like being alone. You want to feel like a loser. You don't want to feel like, you're left out. I don't like that. So I'll get myself out at the mall. I love the mall. Even if I'm sitting by myself, just being in that environment, you are alive, you are shopping, right?
Yeah.
Other people go to happy hour, different places to feel like they belong because they don't want to be left out. But that time of contemplation, the time of quietness, the space that you give yourself is actually how you grow, improve, and get ahead. So it seems like you're going backwards, but to go forward, you need to have some time by yourself. You need to give yourself space. You need to reflect and get the true perspective of what is life all about? Who are you? You ever ask yourself that question? Who are you? Do you sit and say, who am I? Who have I become? Am I in the right lane in life? Because you have to stay in your lane. Am I on the right path? And people don't take time to reflect. I understand because it's boring. So, the church exists so you don't have to do life alone. When you're in that hard times, or you're struggling, or the doors are closed, like I'm going through a season, and Barbie said, what's one word if you have to describe what's going on? I said fatigue and frustration, because things are not going as well as I'd like to. The vision that I had, the grandiose vision and the grandiosity, and us being at 10,000 and all this kind of stuff, it ain't happening. Me being on the book tour and the conference tour, I guess have so many inquiries of people wanting me to speak at their conferences. I just, oh my God, that that ain't reality. So Wednesdays at our mastermind, we're learning about reality. You got to come back to reality. Also humility. So let's look at 1 Thessalonians. It says here, Paul again is addressing the church because the church is going through a lot of persecution, a lot of problems. They're new Christians. They don't really know God, but they come to a place, they accepted God, they getting to know Him, they got salvation. I was getting good reports about new people coming to visit. Your friends are finally coming and they're opening up their lives, right, to Christ. Okay, that's the beginning. Now, the true test of our church and value is, can we relate to them? Are we going to create space for them in our schedules? Will we create space for people that we don't know and we may not like? You guys understand that? What if you don't like the person that comes through the doors? What if you don't like the person that you're sitting with right now? What if they offend you? Because real relationships are offensive because it's supposed to be truthful. So if your relationships are any worth anything, you should be offending each other. You should be having struggles and just like, why did you say that? And going back and forth. We talk about the care, the candor. It should be like that. It should be very truthful. Not this kind of surfacey, on the surface, hey, what's going on? And what was the latest score? And no one's going to grow. So the church itself is very unique. So Paul is addressing the church. He wants to get back to the church, but it's like, he doesn't have a car, plane, moped, Uber. Okay? You got to walk. Very rarely he walked. So he planted all these churches. His travels was tremendous. So it took him days, weeks, years at some time. So how they communicated was letters. How long do you think a letter would take? A while. So when he saw the people he contacted them, it was a while. It wasn't like email, text, Twitter. He didn't text the people, hey, what you guys doing? Are you guys praying? Okay, so he was very worried. He was very concerned about the church because there are also false prophets or leaders, people that come in, visitors that come into the church and tell them false things, false doctrine, or tell them about Christianity's faith. God doesn't exist. You got to follow this. You got to follow that. So he's very concerned. So the fact that we have a place, at least once a week, we can come in and we can get truth and we get perspective. We should be very grateful. In the midst of all the fads, the words and the information today, who do you believe? What do you believe? Well, at least you can take that information and you can filter it through the truth. You come in, you talk about it, you process it, and then you get truth, and then you adjust your thinking and your emotions, and then you come back out. But to left with your thoughts, to just be left with your own thoughts, And your thoughts can be crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of sad because that your thoughts, a lot of them are abstract. So in some place you got to get truth. So he says, how we thank God for you, because of you, we have great joy as we enter God's presence. Night and day we pray earnestly for you. How many times? Night? How many times a day? At least twice a day. How many of you pray? Or think praying is a religious act, so you don't pray, or you're embarrassed to pray? How many of you, when people say, why don't you pray for our food? You're like, hey. There's no such thing as a bad prayer. Our 3-year-old grandson, every time we eat, he says, we're eating, and like, oh my God, he says, everybody stop. So everybody stop right now. Everybody close your eyes. And he looked, and you have to close your eyes. He yells in the restaurant, close your eyes, close your eyes. Everybody close your, stop, everybody stop. We gotta close our eyes. I wait, I eat, but he's closing their eyes. I'm taking bites of my food, and then he'll pray, which is a good thing because he has a good value. But how many of you don't like to pray because you think you're gonna pray the wrong thing or you're embarrassed? There's no such thing as praying the wrong thing. You cannot pray a wrong prayer or a bad prayer. Okay? But we're supposed to pray for each other day and night. Now, it's not talking about the religious prayers, the long prayers. It's just as you're going through your day, as you're working, driving, and you think about a person, you just say a prayer for them. That's all. You just say a short 10-second prayer. Wherever Chad is at, wherever Tony is at, I pray for him. I pray for his day. I pray for his wife. In Jesus' name, amen. That's it. It's the religious people that say, oh no, that's not good enough. Oh, that's not long enough. Oh, that's not powerful. It's not about long enough, powerful. It's about faithfulness. It's about obedience. All you have to do is pray 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Pray for the person as they come into your mind. So it says, night and day we pray earnestly for you, asking God to let us see you again to fill the gaps in your faith. So see, they couldn't take for granted that they would see each other. They might not see each other. It might have been years before they saw each other again. So it's very difficult back then to be a Christian. On top of being killed for it, you said, I follow Christ. You'd be killed for that. Because you're coming against another religion, another culture. Today, we take it for granted, like, oh, we're going to, another Sunday, or we're going to see each other, or we don't call each other, or text each other, or take the time to meet with each other because we feel, I'm going to see my Sunday. That's how we demean relationships. We take relationships for granted. It's supposed to be very intentional. So that's why they stay in prayer. It says, as we enter God's presence, it's prayer. So may God our Father and our Lord Jesus bring us to you very soon. So Paul is praying, and I want to get back to you. And may the Lord make your love for one another and for all people grow and overflow. Dang! Oh, you know that's difficult. Like he doesn't just love each other, but it has to grow. So your love for one another should grow, and then it has to what? Overflow, like abundance. Like you go beyond the minimum. You go beyond the text and the email. You go beyond the how's it and how you doing and you know what's cracking and you know like we do in the mornings. Hey, how you doing? And what we all say? Hi. And then we say good. How many of you had ever somebody stop you in the morning and start to tell you you're weak? How many of you ever had that? Like you expected them to just say good and say, oh man, it's crappy right now. It's bad, you know. Let me tell you, they start going on and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that. Like, no, you're not supposed to do that in church. TMI, you're not supposed to tell me about your week. Don't you know how it works? I ask you how you doing, and you tell me fine, and we move on so I can get my coffee and my fat-free donuts over there and help yourselves. Right? How many go through life like that? You go to work, and you expect to just do your work. I mean, you're cordial with your coworkers. There's got to be. You got to work with them. You got to see them 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, whatever. So you kind of wrap it, right? You just wrap, right? But you really don't want to get into their lives. I don't want to know your dramas. How many do that at work? Be honest. You're in church. God sees you. All the hands that are not raised. Hey, relationships are difficult, man. I mean, real relationships, authentic relationships. I have a hard time with it. Internally. People think I'm a pastor, so I must love everybody. On a good day, yes. Most of the days, no. Like one pastor said, I don't think about divorce, but I do think about murder. Whoa! See, we struggle with the truth. And we struggle. I think I was thinking about myself. And I think I tried to be perfect according to what people expect me to be. It messes me up. Because internally, I'm a ratchet raw dog. That's what I like to read. I'm just, like, you don't want to see my thoughts on the screen. You don't want to know what I'm thinking. You know? And I got a battle with that. There's a tremendous conflict in me that's always going on. But I try to improve. I try to learn. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. I'm far from holy. I'm far from being a pastor. I'm just like, man, I got to sit down. And a lot of times I got to talk to party. I got to share my thoughts. Man, I struggle with this. I struggle with it. Like, I don't like this person. I really don't like this person. Like, I get this bitter taste when you say your name. It's not. It's none of you in this room. When she mentions your names, all I feel is joy and bliss. Like, immediately I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese and say yes. So don't worry. But in reality, relationships. So when Jesus is saying it has to grow, I'm like, oh my God, okay, that's strike one for me. Then he pushes it. Like, he pushes the point. You know what I'm saying? Like when he says, love your enemies. Dang, why you gotta say that for? Now he says it has to overflow. So for me to love, let's say Chad, okay, I can't just hook up. I can't just have lunch. Like, now my love for him has to overflow. So that means Monday through Saturday, I gotta think about him, what's going on, help him out. You know what I'm saying? What if we don't even get along? Now what's gonna happen? I can't facade it. I can't frost it, fake it. So I gotta come to the issues within myself. Why? Why don't I like Chad? Right? And I gotta process through that. And I gotta pray through that. So prayer is not a religious activity. It's to help me to center. It's helped me with my perspective. And also, it gives me hope that, yes, I am not there today, but one day I will grow, and one day my love for Chad will overflow. Just like you guys who are married and want to get married, you're not going to always feel these feelings like the movie for your spouse, right? Some days you can spend a whole day conniving on how to get rid of it. And when I was working in LA, I worked on the dock with freight. These guys from New York, and just this hardcore guys. And this one guy told me, you know, Davin, if you ever want to get rid of anybody, just let me know. I got friends, and I know how to get rid of them, and nobody will ever find the body. I said, okay, thank you. Because we're in that culture. We're, you know, drugs and all that, and, you know, and he just came up to me, you know, Holly had a ponytail, and, you know, just Rob, just, you know, like the Sons of Anarchy kind of guy. Just hey, if you ever want to get rid of somebody, just let me know. Okay, I have something for you. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't blink an eye. He didn't say, oh, nah, joking. He was like, you're serious. I have friends that know how to get rid of the body. No, I didn't bother to ask, but like, whoa. So, for our love for each other in the church to overflow, it's going to take time. It's going to take a process. But the main thing that we have to give it a shot. We got to be intentional every week. We got to make the call, people. And get with each other and hook up with the people you don't like or you don't sit with or whatever it is, or you don't have something in common. You got to do that. That's the church. That's what Christ died for. is love, to love people, right? And it's not always the people you enjoy. He modeled that by sitting with Zacchaeus, the tax collectors, all kinds of people, but he chose to have dinner with them, okay? So who are you eating with? This made he, as a result, make what? Your hearts. Thank you. What does that mean? Make your heart strong. Love. Anybody? Resilient. Whole. Where do you make your decisions from?
Oh, your heart.
Is it here? No. It's here. All your values, emotions, and decisions that you make come from your heart. Yet, it says, the heart is deceitful. Wow, so how do you make a decision? When people say, oh, I'm moving and blah, 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 what did they say? Follow your heart.
Yeah.
Or as long as you feel peace in your heart. That's wrong advice. Because your heart is deceitful. So now he's saying to make your heart strong. In other words, you have to condition your heart, feel your heart, make it better. Condition. In your heart, in its raw form, without God, is bad. It's wrong. Most times you're going to feel different things. Do what you like, right? And that's why people make decisions and they slowly drift. And when they come older, they're in a place that they're not supposed to be at, was never intended for. So they do end up in a place, but is it a good place? Everybody ends up in a place. At the end of our lives, where's the place that we end up in? A coffin, a mortuary. And 10 minutes after your service, what are they asking?
Where's the chicken?
How come we never have more chicken? What a Mac salad? What is food from? Junk over there. They should have gotten all that. Right? I'm sorry. 10 minutes after your service, they were like, oh, well, so you're going to the game tonight. You're going to Sessions. Right? You're going to open mic. Right? I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So if you have an overinflated vision about yourself that people really love you, reality, well, yeah. So our hearts have to be corrected. It has to be strong, filled with different values now. Because you identify with Christ, your hearts are filled with the values of Christ. It says blameless. Blameless is not perfect. It's just that you did everything you're supposed to. And then holy. And holy is not religious. Okay? Holy righteousness is just right living, right standing. God understands we're going to make mistakes and fail. So he's not trying to make us perfect, holy people. He says, as you stand before God our Father, when our Lord Jesus comes again, with all his holy people, amen. So he's talking about, as you stand before God, you're blameless. You did your best. That's all God asks of you, is that you do your best. You do all that you're supposed to do. You be all that you're supposed to be. You understand your purpose. You understand why you're here on earth. Why were you made? You understand that, and that's what you live for. That's all. Not choose another career or culture because it brought you more money. I don't think you can will yourself into doing anything. I mean, you can, but you still be out of alignment. You still be off. And then it's all about you. So the credit will go to you, not to God. So it's actually like you're your own man. You're your own person. And that's very difficult. So this message is actually for me. So here it says, it should bring us great joy to see each other. Right? How many of you feel great joy in the morning? I know, man. The way we were worshiping this morning, man, it was brutal. It's like we were chewing glass and clapping at the same time. How many of you are tired? How many of you had a hard week? Man, it's hard, man. Hey, being joyful is hard. Being happy is easy. All you do is you buy something and make you happy, right? Right? How many?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But you got to buy more stuff. Joy is a deep down inner value that regardless of the circumstances. So we should have great joy. We see people come to Christ. People coming to church. We're connecting. We make it intentional to sit with other people we don't normally see. And then we connect. You guys understand? We had you guys moving around, remember? Because the church are famous for cliques. We tend to gravitate to people we like, people we know. You know, we don't bust out of those circles, those cliques. We have to bust out of the cliques. We got to connect. And growing to maturity in Christ. Then we talk about discipleship, mentorship, that we get with one another. We talk about, okay, how we're living and our process and our values and how we're thinking, how we're making decisions. And we're not afraid if the opportunity presents itself. We're not afraid to speak the truth. We're not afraid to say, I disagree, or you're wrong, or you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't live like that. And if you end up in a parking lot, you end up in a parking lot. Just get it out. You know what I'm saying? But the church, we're very timid. We're very passive. We don't want to end. We want to offend anybody. We don't want people to leave, blah, 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 blah. We tell ourselves all these MSUs are lies, and then people don't grow. If people don't grow in the church, then we're not a church. Well, whole we exist. Well, whole we come every Sunday. We may as well do like what they're going to do in the week. They just come and go watch the game and drink at 9:30 in the morning and have a good time, right? But then we're not the church. Okay? Just be grateful that we can have church in a place and watch football to get bored with the message. And then after you end up, we'll have a drink. And it's okay. Except out of that. Okay, prayer overcomes everything. I just want to talk to you a little about prayer. Today we don't pray enough for our circumstances or divine solutions. It's because we don't feel that we're completely dependent on God, that we can pretty much handle our own problems, our solutions. You got Google, you got other things. Maybe some of you are talented, you're self-made, you're gifted, whatever it is. But we don't create a real dependence on God, so we don't feel the need to pray. Okay? So again, prayer is just communicating to God. We acknowledge that we're limited and we need help. So we communicate with God. Busyness, the need to do more, and greed, the need to have more, is one of the many ways the devil distracts us and deviates us. Okay? So yes, you need to go and do your work and make money and blah, blah, blah. And yes, but there's a limit. There's a place where you should be content. There's a place where you should continue to just say enough is enough. And then go help someone else. Make someone else successful. Okay? Prayer is one of the most powerful acts you can do to help you and others. It's not a religious act that you get graded on. There's no such thing as a bad prayer. So for example, we were in Seattle, we had a grandson, Felix, we had Samson. So they do drawings, right? They like to draw. So they bring the drawings to us, right? Like, oh, here, Grampy, I did. Oh, here, Bobby, I did this. Do we say, what? What is that? What is that? Like a crippled snail? What is it? You know, we don't criticize their drawing. So, just like a child cannot do a bad drawing, as a child of God, you cannot do a bad drawing. You understand? You got to get society out of your mind. You got to get man's perspective out of your mind. You got to get filled your heart with God's value. How does God see you? How does He love you? How does He look at you? Because you matter to God. He knows you by name. That's why you have to change your belief system. Not what man says, society says. What does God say about you? You're fearfully and wonderfully made. He loves you, regardless of where you're at today in life. People say, I don't believe in God, but He believes in you. Let me finish with this story. I was, my son-in-law likes to smoke cigars. So he said, oh, we'll go to this place, we'll hang out, smoke cigars, and we'll kind of celebrate Emmy's birthday. So shoot, I'm not a smoker or a drinker, but I'll do it to connect. So we went to this cool sports lounge, okay? It's all, you know, man, they're doing fantasy football, so you gotta be like, okay? And they're smoking cigars, and everyone's drinking, and you know, I love that environment. So we went, and there's a place in the corner. There's 4 lounge chairs and a big screen TV. You just sit. So there are 2 people here, 2 men here, and there are 2 open seats. So Javon said, okay, you okay over here? I said, yeah. So, you know, I got my seat, got my drink, I got my cigar, I'm smoking, I got my groove on, I got a nice flow going. I'm like, this is the life. I'm like, oh my God, the Raiders were on, we're playing the Titans. I'm like, dang! And there's this other guy sitting next to me. You know how men, we just make comments like, stupid, what did he do? So we're trading jabs, okay? He loves the Raider ball. Now, I don't know how we got on the subject, but we got on the subject of cow. Because we're kind of losing. So we started talking, okay? And he lives in New York. His family, the history, he comes from a mob family. He travels, and he goes to Seattle once a month, blah, blah. So we're talking, and because I don't go to church, or I went to church, and, you know, I believe in God, and, you know, I'm a Christian. And then he says, are you a Christian? Okay, now here's the tile. Like, I hope it stops here. So I said, are you a Christian? I said, oh, yeah. And I thought, I'm going to go back to my cigar. It's burning, okay? Because you're a Christian? Okay, let me tell you blah, blah. He goes on. He goes, the question that I dread. Everybody, so what do you do for a living? I wanted to say, well, I'm in public relations. Right? Something. I'm a truck driver. So he goes, oh, what are you doing in life? I said, believe it or not, I pastor a church. He said, what? Holy, what? Dang, what? I said, don't worry, brother. It's okay. I said, oh, man, you know. I said, it's okay. You're fine. And I said, just like when I sat down, you never thought I was a pastor, right? Yeah, yes. But he started sharing his life. He started sharing his struggles, internal struggles. You know, his divorce. I don't know if he's lying to me that he got married, divorced. His ex-wife was a lady that wanted to abuse, burned the child, blah, blah, blah. And then now he's married to this other woman, and he doesn't like her, blah, blah, blah. And he struggles inside, and he's 52, and, you know, and we just talked, we rapped. We talked for the whole second half of the game. My cigar burnt out, the game was over, but it was hope. It was a divine. I knew it was a divine move. I didn't preach to him. I said, you're doing okay. I said, you're a good man. I said, we just got to change your perspective. You're trying too hard. I said, you know what your problem is? You're trying to be a Christian. He goes, what? What do you mean by that? You're trying to be a Christian. You're trying to do all these religious things rather than being a son that loves God. So I explained that to him. He goes, I can see that. You know, he has his accent. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. You know, sometimes God will come at the other angle like, wow, man, you helped me. Blah. And then he left. And I'll probably never ever see him. But this is what we talk about, relationships. And in the moment, you treat the person as a real person. And I had to put away everything that I was doing, everything that I was enjoying. The game was always, I'm sorry, I'm taking you away from the game. I said that it's always going to be another game. And he started talking. I guess what I was sharing helped him bring a little bit more perspective on his life. He didn't know where he was going. He felt guilty, you know, blah, blah, blah. And his mom just passed away. You know, so we just started talking. So the church is you. You are the church, wherever you go. It's not a religious place that you come to or that you attend. The church is you. So when you go out Monday or even today, you take the church with you. You be the church. And what does that mean? You just be normal. Just be normal. And if God creates a divine moment for you to share, He will open that door. He will, but be ready. So for me, contemplation, right? I reflect. And I was reflecting on my meeting with the guy. First of all, I always ask, did I treat that person with respect. In other words, I wasn't looking over his shoulder, or I wasn't making side eye on the gate, or I wasn't praying that this guy be quiet so I can get back to my flow. I was into him. You know, his name was Tony. We introduced each other, and I talked to him like a real person. Do you do that with people? Or are you on to fill your other space with other things or your activities? You're on to the mall. You're on to the movie. So I just sat there, I talked to him. I didn't say, oh, the Bible says this. I said, well, you know what God says, right? Or you know what some people say. I started sharing biblical truth. Just helping the guy, ministering to the guy. As you can tell, he was lost, he was hurting. He traveled to that. He was on the road at one point. So he goes, you know what your thoughts do to you? I said, oh, yeah, man. Talk about marriage. You know, I said, don't worry, brother. Marriage is good. We all want to murder our wives and something. Right? But he was able to relate. He was very good. But I'm very grateful that we have a church. Am I making sense? So I'm praying inside, and God's giving me the words. I make sure that I didn't overdo the scriptures or condemn him. But we're intentional. So I made room, even in my activities, to minister specifically. We need to be that big space. It talks about when the doors are closed, we need to believe, we need to make space, we need time. Reflect. Contemplate. Where are you going? How do you treat people? Have you lost that edge? Have you lost the loving and roaring and loving people? Not people you don't know, people you don't know. People on the street, people in traffic. Do you treat them with respect? Humanity. Do you give them your parking? Do you let them cut in line? Right? If it's the last thing, you know, do you give it to them? And I'm tested all the time. It's crazy. That could be the one bottle of rum. Like the one for like 100 days. And the day that I'm going to go buy it or something, you come. It happened. A lady came. It wasn't rum. It was alcohol. It wasn't. But she came and she goes, oh, were you going to buy that? I'm like, no. Oh, thank you. Dang! Why didn't you just tell me to go buy it? I can't do that. I can't do that. Inside, I'm tough. Because I'm trying to change. I'm making sense?
Yeah.
So although you may not feel joy when you see the people in church and you come and your days hard, you have to condition yourself to wake up and look at something positive and, you know, find out about things about their lives and what's going on. And then make a choice. That's why I always say, you cannot always choose. You gotta choose. You can't always choose who's going to come to our doors, who's going to sit with you, who God will put in front of you. But you do have a choice. I was grateful for that experience. You know, just thank you, God, that I got to minister to someone else, talk to someone else. That's how I live for us. Yeah. Yeah, in 5 minutes, once you just kind of talk to each other. Get to know one another. Move around if you have to. One thing you got from this is
So let's put could have put it inside. Yeah, it's fine. This is one, two, go back. You could have fit it on one or two. I could. That's okay. Okay. That's the first slide. Yeah, that's the first one. We have and then you would go up. Why? Why are you still going up? It's not cute. I told Shane to stay home. No, I didn't. Why would you continue? You're not 100%.
12. And then the square meter is up front with 3 if you plan on using your credit cards for that. So thank you guys. And this week, like we mentioned, we have our open mic sessions on Tuesday. This is our debut night, September 6th. So this is kind of like our grand opening, which is awesome. You know, we have awesome lineup of performers coming out. We've been doing this for the past couple of weeks, and so we have a lot of great things that are happening down there. So at 6 o'clock we have our church service, and then at 7 o'clock we have our artist lineup. So I encourage everyone here to come out to support it because great things are happening over there. And then next week we have our prayer assault right after service. So we talked about this morning the importance of prayer and how prayer helps us overcome everything. So thank you guys, and I'm going to bring up Chad. He's going to talk a little bit about our open mic.
Hello.
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Give it a hand for Pastor Devin. So on Tuesday, September 6th, which is this week, after Labor Day, we're going to have sessions. The flyers are on the table if you need more information. And on the back, there's the map, so if you don't know where it is, it's at Goody Goody Bar and Grill. It starts at 6, the service starts at 6, and I'm going to be doing the message.
Whoa!
Yeah!
And then at 7 is open mic part that goes until 10. I think we'll have a full lineup. We'll have a full lineup. So I hope to see everybody there. If you believe in our values of this church, we want to encourage everyone to be there. Can you help us break down, please? And have a great week. We love you.
Yeah!
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
How's the week been? It's been a little while since we sat down and
Yeah, no, it's been alright. Working on building a storage shed for a guy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
This is pretty complicated. What is this thing?
That's the wireless.
Oh, for the mics?
Yeah, for the mics.
Oh.
Grab that. Those are the two cases for it.